Hey, Katie, how you doing there?
I'm great, I'm great, I'm great.
Excellent. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. I'm just grateful to see another day.
I know
Another
that's
day.
right.
All right, all right. So, what are we gonna be having on today's show? What's today's show gonna be?
All right. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to the Drive at 5. This is the Drive at 5 with Roman Morrow. But today is the Drive at 5 Takeover show. The Drive at 5 Takeover show. And today we have the opportunity to take over the Drive at 5 while Roman Morrow is on hiatus. And my name is Katie Lowe, and I am the host of Rhythm Flow Radio, live stream right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Spreaker. And
My name is Lady Patice. Welcome and thank you for inviting me, Romeo. I appreciate it very much. And you can check me out at the Lady Patice live stream show. And that's every second and fourth Saturday of the month at 5 p.m.
all right. So we have a very interesting topic that we're just going to talk about this one topic today because this topic has to do with history. But before we start talking about that topic, I just want to tell you that about some of the things that are going on in my neighborhood. Now, it's going to be a long, hot summer, a very long, hot summer. And I want you to know that I walked outside of my door to let the dog out to use the bathroom. And it was like, I should say it was in the afternoon. And when I walked out, there was a helicopter circling. I mean, just overhead, going in a circle. And this was like, I guess it was maybe about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So, of course, I kind of got involved. I wanted to know what was going on, what was it about. Because, normally if it circles one time and if it leaves, it doesn't bother me. But this one kept circling. So, of course, I got out my cell phone. And I mean, it just, like it knew I was there holding the camera. It just kept circling. And then I kind of followed it. And when I followed it over to the next block, where evidently somebody had, I guess they had done something and they had ran, and so the helicopter kind of followed them. I didn't actually see the arrest, but I did see the policeman come out with the guy's shirt, and I did hear several people say they had arrested somebody. So I want to say that it's going to be a long, hot summer.
Yeah.
And honey, they've got some new things in play for you this summer. They're they're going to arrest you. They've got the helicopters, they got the dogs, they've got everything. So I mean,
devices,
I mean, you people just better like act right. I guess the city is. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something just for a minute here. When they say go back to normalcy, I don't think they mean go back to killing each other, go back to all this violence, senseless violence. I don't think we mean anything like that. Any one of us don't mean that kind of normalcy.
I don't. Let me clean my camera off.
That's not even normal. That's not normal.
I don't think that they mean that either. But it's not only in the city of Chicago. This is like everywhere. People say, "Oh, the city of Chicago is this, and the city of Chicago that." It's not just in Chicago. This is happening everywhere. Okay, not only in the state of Illinois, but this is happening all over the United States. Okay,
yes, it's just like it's like some kind of disease or something just contagious. It's spreading like wildfire. I would say. Of what's happening, and it's never going to register to me that this is normal. That the killing, the senseless crime, innocent victims' lives are being taken, families have to bury them. I just seen on the news of 2 women, innocent bystanders. They wasn't even a target, and they were shot and killed over something that has something to do with someone else.
Yeah.
And one lady barely comes out the house. She confines herself in the house and decided to come to a family gathering and lost her life. Just something that she wanted to do with her family and lost her life.
Yeah, I mean it's a very very serious thing, and I want to say that I'm a senior citizen, okay, and I guess I've been in Chicago about 40 years, and I'm used to going and coming and doing when I please. And I tell you, it has put some fear in the way I live my life. It really has. This is not something that you can lay on COVID. Mm-hmm. It is not. Yeah. Okay, this is and this is not the new norm, and this should not be a way of life. People should be able to go outside and do things. They should be the people should not be afraid to go out and shop for the necessary things that you need in your household to survive, like food, okay? Like toiletries, like the things that you need. Your washing powder, your laundry detergent, your toilet paper, your paper towel. These are things that you need to survive. Water, okay? Clothing, whatever. You should not be afraid to go out of your house because you can't tell the firecracker from the gunshot.
You can't. Absolutely can't.
No. And people should not be afraid, but I just don't know. It's like you go to bed at night and you want to think that these are gunshots. You want to think that mentally.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I be thinking. Yes.
Sometimes they're firecrackers, but my neighbor was sitting on the porch. And she has a nice concrete patio, and she likes to sit out. Sometimes I like to sit out with her. But the other night they were sitting out, and they thought they were firecrackers, and there were actually gunshots. And I can't lay this on the mayor because this just didn't start with the mayor. And a lot of times things happen in the city of Chicago and places, and we lay it on the mayor. We lay it on the politicians. I just want to say this is not something that we can lay on the politicians. I do say that they need to bring programs into the community. There needs to be economic development, of course, in the community, in black and brown communities. But, I really got to say that there needs to be some structure in the home. There needs to be more a foundation in the home, because I've known young men and women who have grown up in Chicago Some of them come from single family homes. Some of them come from underdeserved areas. They are not in gangs. They do not shoot guns. They do not loot. Okay? They went to school. They got an education. And they are doing great things. So I know it has nothing to do with where you live. It has to do with a parenting issue. People do not like to say that, but I just had to. I had to get this. I just had to get this off of my chest because this thing has started to get close to my house now. I mean, it's always been around me, but now once it starts to leak into your neighborhood, and I'm not gonna say that I got a yellow streak, but I am going to say I value my life.
Right. I know that's right.
You know, so I wanted to, I really wanted to say that I don't know if anybody else is having this problem, but this thing is out of control. And
and I have to say, like, usually for us, what I found, especially around the summertime when the 4th of July is coming, me and my family tends to go to states that have much control about the fireworks and certain other things that happens here in Chicago that doesn't happen in certain states. Now, lately it seems to be creeping over into those states, but at one point, like Wisconsin was very strict about certain things. So we would go over to Wisconsin during the 4th of July to celebrate because they seem to have things more together. Like, for instance, if you was caught, they had certain areas that you can do the fireworks. If you was caught outside of that area, if they heard the fireworks, and they go straight to where they knew how to find where it was at, and they'll go straight to that area and find you. You would get a nice citation, something you don't want to be bothered with. It's just like paying a bill.
Right.
But it was their way of controlling and keeping so much carelessness with the fireworks and stuff. And we felt a little more safe because here in Chicago, they just pop them everywhere and the guns are popping. And some, and my dog, my dog that I used to have, he would become very nervous. And he wasn't the only one that was nervous. It made me nervous. It made my family nervous. Because a lot of times we did not know whether it was a gunshot or fireworks.
Yeah, you bring up pets. It does have an effect on the pets because I have a dog here that I'm fostering for somebody else. And she's been with me almost a year now. And I tell you, when she heard the fireworks, and she's a small dog, and I'm used to small pets. But I'm not used to a dog that crawls up around my neck. And when I say around my neck, fireworks, she crawls up around my neck. They hate fireworks. And
yes, they do.
If this dog, you open the door for Deja to go out to use the bathroom. She goes out and use the bathroom. Of course, she likes to, they like to smell and scratch and stuff. So you give her some time out. But honey, if she hears the fireworks or something that sounds, one of those loud noises, this dog will not go out and use the bathroom.
No.
She will not go out. No, she will not.
Sound like mine.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
mine's the same thing. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get that off my chest. So, today we're going to talk about Aunt Jemima. And we're going to talk about, the reason I really want to talk about this, because Lady Patice is a part of an exhibition here in Chicago. And that exhibition is called Re-Imaging Aunt Jemima. And the exhibition is put on by the Bronzeville Historical Society. Sherry Williams and the Bronzeville Historical Society, where they are preserving and protecting African American history and culture of Chicago. This project started, April 23rd. And it runs through July 9th at the Harsh Library at 9525 South Halsted Street here in Chicago. And you really need to go and see this exhibition.
Yeah.
There are some things in it. Listen, when you think about Aunt Jemima and pancakes and syrup, and you know, there's a variety of products that have her, well, should I say that had her face on them, okay? But there are a variety of products that had her face on them. So it's something that an adult, seniors can take a field trip. You don't have to be a senior to take a field trip, but you can do a family outing and take a field trip and go and see this exhibition. And then there's also, I call it a musical in the park that is called Born a Slave. And that is something that I saw on Juneteenth. Now, I don't know, is that the first time you all performed that?
Yes, actually, that was our first time opening up for us performance-wise. And I'm telling you, we have more dates that's coming up. I know one is coming up in July next month on the 25th, and we'll be at 4417 South Stewart. That's in Eden Garden. I've been there already. I had a chance to look at it. It's beautiful.
All right.
Very nice. It's so beautiful there.
Okay, well we're gonna get back to that, but this is what I wanted to know. Sherry Williams is not here today, but she's been on the show before and has talked about this. So the thing is, who is Aunt Jemima? Is she a person? Is she a product? Or is she just a brand ambassador?
Well, Aunt Jemima, the real Aunt Jemima, which is Nancy Green, she is a person. And she is a sales ambassador. She wasn't, nobody knew who she was. I mean, no one in this time and age didn't know. But she was a person who helped sell the products of Aunt Jemima. Although she was herself a slave, she was born March the 4th in 1834 was her birthday. But she worked for a family by the name of Walker. It was a very nice, wealthy family.
Okay.
They had 2 children. Matter of fact, they moved here to Chicago. Both of the sons became very successful in their life. One was a doctor, the other was a judge.
Okay.
So, you know, she was in a very wealthy, she lived and worked for a very wealthy family. And so I'm not going to tell it all, but I'm going to tell as much as I can be permitted to say, because we have someone special that's going to be on today's show too.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave the room there. But a lot of people, going back, a lot of people did not know that she was actually a person. I didn't know she was a person. I just thought it was some kind of character like cartoons that someone made just to sell their products. Pancakes. Who doesn't like pancakes? You know, I mean pancakes. I remember as a kid, I'm kind of embarrassed to say, I wasn't the kind that ate 2 pancakes and I was good. I ate like maybe 4 to 6 pancakes. You know, and then gain a pound. And so, you know, pancakes was definitely in my family, right along with the starches and the eggs and the oatmeal and the grits and cream of wheat. If anybody knows about that.
Yes.
So, you know, pancakes was a part of our breakfast in the morning, especially on a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Okay.
So pancakes was back in those times when I was coming up was like a special type of dinner. Breakfast that we would have.
Okay.
You know, but going back, just to say, a lot of people didn't know that she was a person. Okay. That she really did live and exist on this earth. So Sherry William, her and her team came together and they began to work and do some research, which took them 15 years. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of study. That's a lot of work, and they was diligent about it. Some people probably said some negative stuff, but thank God they did not give up on their research about Nancy Green.
Okay.
And that's what Aunt Jemima is. So when they was going through the process of finding more about her, and then they found out that she moved from Kentucky because she was originally from Kentucky, moved here to Chicago due to work and everything. She traveled all over the world, and especially when the Queen loved her pancakes, that just gave her a pass to move freely with her work ethics and do what she does to help the product. I mean, the pancake products rather. So when they found out that she was here in Chicago, and they realized that she was also buried at, I'm trying to remember that cemetery, Oakwood Cemetery. She was buried there, unmarked grave. Now I see why personally it's important for us to have our names on our graves. But she was an unmarked grave. So Shania and Sherry Williams had made a decision or came to a decision, and those that was with them to figure out a way to get her name on her grave because it was well deserved.
Okay.
She's not like a ghost; she's a person. So when they were trying to do it, of course, according to the law of the land, they was not kinfolks. None of them was related to her.
Okay.
So they had to find out who was related. Now, I see why personally, again, it's important to have family reunions. You get to know your family. They had to do research on that. That took some time. Thank God he given them the patience and everything it took to find out who was related to Nancy Green. They found out who the family member was. Her last name is Hayes, Hayes.
Okay.
They was related to Nancy Green. They had no idea that they was cancer.
Wow, her own relatives didn't know.
Didn't even know they was related to her. Had no idea this whole entire time. And so that was a blessing in disguise. And when they was able to talk to them and to share with them what was going on and how come they needed to talk to them, just putting it in my own wording here, but according to the story, is that they had to get consent from the next of kin. So when the next of kin had given consent, they was able to get her name on her gravesite.
So they had to get permission from the family members in order to put a headstone on her unmarked grave. And they were paying for it. Family members weren't paying for it. They were paying for it.
Right. They paid for it out of the funds.
Isn't that something? Well, it's like I read several different things about it, that it was her recipe, that it wasn't her recipe. Oh, I even read something that when she died, she was a millionaire. I'm serious.
I know. I know. Yeah. People like to play with history. They love to fabricate things, but the truth of the matter is, if it wasn't for Nancy Green, the pancakes that they are making now or have been out here for over 100 years would not have existed. That recipe would, maybe some other recipe, but the recipe that she discovered. Because think about it, Nancy Green, she lived with her slave master.
Okay.
That means she was the nanny. She was the caretaker. Me and Chuckle Up have written a song named Caretaker. She was a caretaker. She was a nanny. She was the cook. If she's the cook, that means she's in the kitchen fixing meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And it started right there in her master's home. It started right there in her master's home.
Okay.
Oh, we got Maggie Brown here.
We got Maggie Brown here. She's been back there. I thought maybe she was gonna put us the avatar up there.
Hello, Maggie.
But I don't know if she hears. She's got her mic off. But she can jump in at any time. Nancy Green wore a lot of different hats. She really did. And people need to know that she was not a fictional character. She was actually a human being. Mm-hmm. Okay? She was, you can call her a brand ambassador, but she was a brand ambassador because it was her recipe, even though I guess they cultivated it and made a market out of it, but it was her recipe. From what I'm gathering, it was her recipe. Am I right? It's saying that?
Yes.
Okay, so she was a brand
ambassador. It was her recipe, but again, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm right in saying she was a brand ambassador, but she was also a brand ambassador for her own product. That Quaker Oats took credit for. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so the re-imaging project, I was reading of that, and they said that they were doing it. I guess it came about, they talked about it once before, but after the death of George Floyd, that's when they really decided to do something about it. And I believe it was June the 19th that they actually started to... June when? Hello? The 20th. That they actually started to change the labels in the stores on the boxes. Can you hear me? Okay, anyway.
I can hear you. This is y'all can hear you really. I know what it is about the change of the name. And y'all can come in and fill in too.
Okay.
The changing of the name, they said it's a racial stereotype. In my opinion, I don't think entirely what it is, because now people are starting to realize and know who Nancy Green is and the story behind Aunt Jemima. I think they're really trying to push this more to rebury her, which I'm not going to let it happen. As long as I am and others join me, continue to share these stories with your family and teach your family to do likewise with the next generation. We got to keep ourselves educated. I read somewhere in a good book when it says to continue to share the history of your nation, the history of your family. Continue to be mindful, which means sharing the story. And Nancy Green was a storyteller, by the way. She used to tell stories as a way of conducting and selling the Aunt Jemima pancakes.
Okay.
You know, as well as cooking the pancakes. So that right there is letting you know, as far as storytelling, we need to tell her story. We need to tell the truth of her story, not the fabricated kind.
Okay.
Not the kind that's going to confuse us. And where there's confusion, we know that something is truthfully there that they don't want us to know.
Well, of course we do. Yeah. And then you know, when you go to the dictionary and you look at certain words that are in there, it's the way they associate them with things. Because when you look up, have you ever looked up Aunt Jemima? Just Googled it. and see how they have
Mm-hmm.
it associated almost like with a cleaning lady, with a mammy. It's the way they associate words.
Wow.
It's just like
Associated with it, yeah.
it's just like when you look up black, it's associated with something evil.
Mm-hmm.
And white is associated with something
Right.
pure. Well, why come it couldn't be just the opposite?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I just think about, words like Sambo, how they stereotype words.
Right.
So, I don't know, it makes me a little edgy, And then words like the N word, it's how they associate things that can make you just a little edgy, just a little nervous, and then some people you can get in a situation and then some people choose to use those words, which can make you a little nervous and a little edgy. And you have to I think you really have to be a laid back person in the society that we live in, that we don't get upset behind some of the things that we hear. When they are words that refer to people of color. Okay, now, so the exhibit is still running, so people still have a chance to go to the library at 9525 South Halsted and see this exhibit. The library is open to what, about 5 o'clock in the evening?
It's from Monday through Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Monday through Thursday. It's from 9 to like 7 in the evening.
Okay.
9 to 8, I'm sorry. 9 to 8 in the evening. But I suggest people to get there at 7 just to have enough time to walk around, even in that last hour. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, it's from 9 to 5. Okay. And on Sundays, they just started on Sundays, opening up from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. So, if they want to come, they got 7 days a week, and they can pick it on a rainy day, sunny day, but just come out and check it out. And McDonald's right across the street.
Okay, Maggie, jump on in here.
Yeah, okay. Hey, everybody. You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. How's it going?
Everything is great. How are you today?
Doing good. Good to hear from you and see you as well.
Yeah, just wanted to chime in with you all. I had to be moving around, but just wanted to chime in because we had such a good conversation what was that, Saturday? Yeah, last Saturday.
Yes.
Well, come on in here and give them a little education about your role in the Re-Imaging Aunt Jemima exhibition, and also Born a Slave.
You said also what?
Also Born a Slave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, talking about Miss Nancy Green.
Yes.
So I have the pleasure of working with Lady Patice, Sherry Williams, Mr. Charlie House, also known as Chuck a Luck, legendary bassist, and he's the one who called me, letting me know that these activities were going on that you all were just talking about, that the grave site was to be dedicated and that they had been working a long time. And so that also just coincided with how like you said, in our country, people are saying, well, it was based on a mammy, a stereotype from times when it was just total degrading of black people and making them like display items in a zoo. And so in trying to be more correct, they're going to take away that name, take away that image. And so Miss Sherry and the folks were like, well, wait a minute, before you take it away, there's so many things that are our great history and that speak to our great contribution that are swept under the rug. Unless we shine a light on it and we make it important and we call people's attention to what it is. And so that's why it's great to be a part of this, for this whole movement of celebrating our ancestors, recognizing what they've done, and then being able to teach that to each other, especially our youth, because then we hope that would make us feel more love, of course, for each other and for who we are and who we're from, and thus we couldn't treat each other this way. And so, yeah, it's important. It's important.
Yeah, very much so. And you know what? I want to say this, and because when you say young to our youth, I'm telling you, I say 80% of my time, I am around young people, youth. And they're, from my children to their friends and so on and so forth. Plus, I work with children. So it's like what I understand and beginning to realize anytime you are talking to someone who is at least under the age of 55, normally their household have young people, which means they have teenagers, they have younger folks in their 20s, they may have children or married. So normally if you're reaching out to somebody like myself, that means you're also reaching out to the young people, because what you sharing with me is being shared among the people around me. And then those people are sharing that story with the people around them. So although we don't see everything, the growth of it or the full development, but believe it or not,
the seeds are planted.
The seeds are planted, exactly. So anytime you are talking to someone like myself, I'm not saying, just my group, but normally anyone that's in my age group, normally our household, we have teenagers, we have young people that's in their 20s, some in their early 30s or whatever. And when you're sharing this story with us, like, for instance, there's 11 of us in the family, so 11 children in total. So when I'm sharing this with my siblings, guess what they're doing? It's 11 of us. We're sharing it with the family of us. And then their friends are knowing this. And it's that wave of the news is going, that the material of it is going just like that, in the way it needs to go, in the fashionable order, the divine order. So I just want to encourage anyone, and include myself, that our labor is not in vain. What we're doing is not in vain. And we need to, because guess what? Everybody else that I know of, and I'm under, I work with different nationalities, and you better believe they share their history with their family. They feed it to their children. They make sure their family knows about that. So what we're doing, Katie Lowe, Maggie, Sherry Williams, Shania, Chuckaluck, everyone, Brenda, everybody, the Williams twins, the Dr. Williams, the list goes on. I want to let y'all know that your labor is not in vain.
Thanks. That's right, because that's what we have to do. We have to pass it on. We have to remember, to never forget.
Exactly.
And I'm
gonna have to get off, but I would leave y'all with some poetry about it.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
On this service and
come on with it.
Another audience, they don't know, right? So
come on with that poetry.
Hold on. Now, when I say labor,
what'd you say, babe? It's kind of I don't know if it's because I'm moving around.
This is an almost empty thing of syrup, and here's the.
There's full.
All right. Hold on to that full one, girl. Hold on to that full one.
I'm trying.
Hold on to that full one. You may not never get another one. Okay.
My mama been such a queen. Cannot understand why they do it so mean. The power in her recipe done fed a billion families. The flavor of the century. My mama's flapjacks flipping destiny. Up from slavery she migrated to Chicago where she made it. To Bronzeville there she created. But her legacy is understated. She fed me and your child to a knife. I bet you never ever knew, without fanfare or fame. But we can't let you forget her name. She's Nancy Green. Y'all look it up. Y'all go to the exhibit at the Woodson Library, 95th and
Yes, yes.
the reimagined Aunt Jemima and then stuff like this thing called High on the Hog. There's all kind of programs now that's just showing how our people we created these wonderful recipes, things like mac and cheese, and just recipes that have become part of our just our national heritage. And other people often get the credit, royalties, and attention for it, but really it even not only came from people that we come from, but they were in very, very adverse conditions and still created beautiful cuisine and had to cook for them Dixie cracks and risk the cracks and all them things back in the day, and from sun up to sundown every meal, and they did, and they left something beautiful that we can be proud of and that we already do grow from. So we just have to recognize, and thanks y'all for letting me help to shine the light on it. My name is Maggie Brown. Y'all, I'm at MaggieBrown.com. MAGGIE, Brown like the color. And then something I'm very involved in is my father's archive and legacy, and it's OscarBrownJr.org. So that's a beautiful website to learn more about a brother that, Dad, he grew up on the South Side, and he ended up even working with the gangs, with Blackstone Rangers back in the 60s. Even though he was very famous, he stopped to deal with our youth because he knew that's where it's at. And so he passed that desire on to me. And y'all look us up on the web, and I hope to come back on the show with you all and talk more about it. I'm sorry I got to run.
Okay, tell them about your performance.
At Eden Farms. That's going to be on July the 25th, is it not?